There are many styles of martial arts in our world today, each with its own purpose and own creator. Aikido is one such art. Focuses solely on self-defense. It's created by Morihei Ueshiba, based it upon his mindset and outlook upon life, where he desired to never hurt or harm another person. Through this nature, and through his childhood experiences, and the hardships that he faces in his adult life, it is very evident that peace and harmony were major focuses within his life. He was born in 1883 to Morihei Ueshiba and his wife Yuki. Morihei had many desires for his son. Majorly wanted him to become strong and become either a swimmer or a sumo wrestler. However, Morihei struggled with illnesses throughout his childhood and spent most of his time inside reading instead. He had no interest in school. Instead, he would rather study meditation, chants, and the religious rites of the Buddhists. The Kumano Tourism Bureau states that during his youth, he joined a campaign against the Meiji government about a policy they had put into place that required the local shrines to merge together into one. They succeeded and kept the damage to the local shrines at a minimum. Later in his life, when he became old enough, he tried to join the army. According to Gene Schaefer, he failed in his attempt, for he was too short. So he went into the jungle, hung himself from trees, and put weights on his ankles in hopes to stretch himself out. He succeeded and was allowed to join the army in 1903. He spent 18 months there, during which time his superiors praised him, and eventually they wanted him to consider it as a career. However, after his time, he could no longer stand it, for all the destruction and innocent bloodshed that he had seen depressed him too much. The army had helped him, however, to build physical strength, which he used in his martial arts training as he traveled around the world, Japan for the most part, training with multiple different people until he landed in Hokkaido, Japan, where he built a dojo and trained with Takeda Sensei. After a time, his father fell ill and he left and went to Ayabe. And after his father passed away, he moved the rest of his family there, where he felt that he had found his true purpose of teaching Budo as a way to end all fighting. The Kumano Tourism Bureau says that he opened the school there, the Ueshiba School, where he began mixing martial arts with agriculture. He called it Aikibujitsu. This art focused on uniting the heart, the body, and the spiritual energy of a person. He eventually changed the name in 1936 to Aikibudo, and 8 years after that, after he had strengthened his techniques to create a more spiritual philosophy, he changed the name to Aikido, the discipline of spirit or energy and harmony. Aikido focused heavily on the will of the mind. Morihei Ueshiba claimed that he could become 2/3 of what his actual body weight was, which he demonstrated by standing on teacups and they wouldn't break. He would also claim that he could become heavier, which he would display by having 4 men try to lift him, and they would fail. Even until his death in 1969, he believed that his art had only just begun. Through his childhood experiences, through the hardships of his life, death, war, and suffering, he was always on his path to find what he believed was the true Budo, the way of the warrior. He found it in Aikido, his legacy to the world. John Stevens sums it up quite well in The Art of Peace. So I'll leave you with this. Morihei Ueshiba was one of history's greatest martial artists. Even as an old man of 80, he could disarm any foe, down any number of attackers, and pin an opponent with a single finger. Although invincible as a warrior, he was above all a man of peace who detested fighting, war, and any kind of violence. His way was Aikido, which can be translated as the art of peace.